So I'll present, the aim of this study was to present a novel technique of draining subretinal and suprachoroidal fluid using a 26 gauge IV cannula, which is attached to the extrusion pump of vitrectomy console. And this was a retrospective case series, and 11 eyes underwent this procedure. And this is how we do it.
Sangeet, we cannot hear. Hello?
Pardon, sir?
We could not hear you.
Could not hear you.
I'll start.
Actually.
So once the site of maximum elevation is identified, the 26 gauge IV cannula is inserted in the quadrant of the maximum elevation. This is done 6 to 10 millimeters away from the limbus with the bevel away position. Once the cannula pierces the coats, you feel a change in pressure at your fingertips. Then you examine your cannula tip inside with your wide field system. Once you ensure that, you advance the plastic cannula inside and then remove the metallic stellate. You can see the fluid coming out. You can then attach this to the extrusion pump of your machine, and you can control the speed of the rate of fluid by using the active foot controlled suction machine of the machine. Now you see the retinal detachment is getting shallower when we start the suction on the machine. So in this patient, we did this study, and 11 patients with RD with choroidal detachment, one with the suprachoroidal hemorrhage post-traumatic, one with the post-cataract surgery expulsive hemorrhage, 2 patients with post-trabeculectomy choroidal detachment, 8 patients with a bullous retinal detachment, 2 with the bullous combined RD and PDR, 1 of uveal effusion syndrome, and 1 with Coats disease. So these cases were analyzed, and this technique offers various surgical advantages. And just 2 advantages of this technique, let us look at some of these cases. So this was a 56 years female who presented with a recurrent retinal detachment with massive choroidals extending posteriorly to the scleral buccal. In this case, this IV cannula was used to drain the suprachoroidal fluid. This Teflon cannula is very malleable and it can be maneuvered easily in subretinal and suprachoroidal space. This cannula also conforms to the available space and reduces the risk of any retinal or choroidal injury. And because the tip is blunt, you need not remove it as choroids the detachment gets shallow. Again, because it is transconjunctival, you can drain sides. And because of its length, you can even go up to posteriorly, even up to the macula. And because the risk of injury with this cannula is low, you can, and it does not need any visualization while doing the surgery, you can carry out other procedures with the cannula even inside. So the endolaser. This was another case of post-traumatic choroidal detachment and hemorrhage with the intraocular foreign body. The choroidals were very high, so the vitrectomy could not be easily performed. So again, this cannula was used to, you see how fast the choroidals are decreased when you do it in a fast mode. Once the choroidals become shallow, you switch off to the slow mode. Again, this is a patient of combined retinal detachment, and retina can be flattened using this technique, and you need not make early retinotomies which may hamper your surgery later on. So you can carry out your membrane dissection without creating any retina. This was again a patient with Coats disease. Retina was behind the lens. There was no space to insert instruments, and you drain the fluid here, and thus this prevents the conversion of an exudative retinal detachment to a rhegmatogenous retinal detachment. You can just drain the fluid and perform your other procedures, like if you want to do a vitrectomy, or you want to do laser, or you want to inject intravitreal triamcinolone, you can use it accordingly. But this this technique also has some limitations. There is a theoretical risk of retinal injury or break formation, which can be minimized by prior examination of insertion site and choosing the maximum point of maximum elevation. Then tissue incarceration can block the tip of the cannula and can be prevented by decreasing the suction rate when the detachment becomes shallow. And one of the Chandelier assisted scleral buckling was found to have star folds after flattening the retina had to be converted to vitrectomy. To conclude, I'll just say that 26 gauge intravenous catheter, it provides a simple and safe option for draining subretinal and suprachoroidal fluid in various situations in a controlled manner. Thank you.
I think it's a nice technique, Dr. Sangeet. And especially when we are dealing with bullous detachments, where we always have the problem of even inserting the instruments. If we can do a transcameral drainage, I think that is going to really be helpful and avoiding many complications. Have you ever tried this technique for draining the suprachoroidal blood? Has this technique worked in that?
Yes, in this series only we had two cases. One was a post cataract surgery choroidal suprachoroidal hemorrhage, and one was a post traumatic choroidal hemorrhage with the detachment along with it. So in those cases, we generally wait for around 20 days for the blood to liquefy and then drain the blood. Yeah.
Dr. Mittal, to
Yes.
avoid draining by this method, by the traditional methods, you are also using pars-plana vitrectomy instruments. Will it not add to the cost of the surgery? Suppose you are doing only buccal, but you are still putting infusion cannula and everything, then you are draining it by your method. So how does it become cost effective versus sterile buccal and traditional drainage?
So most of these cases needed vitrectomy for other indications like rhegmatogenous retinal detachment or PDR or other things. And secondly, when you are draining your suprachoroidal fluid or subretinal fluid, a sudden outpour of the fluid may result in complications like hemorrhage or hyphema during the procedure. And for that, you need to have some kind of infusion inside the eye before you start draining. So,
but you mentioned there is only one case where you went for vitrectomy. All other cases were not associated with vitrectomy.
no, sir. All cases vitrectomy was done along with this drainage procedure in these series. Yeah.